Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 4 replay with the new expansion. Spawn on the south side as the magenta House of Lancaster. We got the Lancaster lad. Spawn on the right side as the green Knights Templar. We got El.EloueMT. This course is a brand new map. We do have a trade post in the middle here, so I expect horrible trade unless you go from this corner and or this corner. We do also have this new thing here, the Iron Lost Ronin. Controlled player can hire a Ronin. A new Ronin becomes available every 120 seconds. So in theory, if you just get close to it, you can hire some mercenaries, which I think is basically a Warcraft 3 mechanic. Or you can also reference Command & Conquer 4. You're probably not going to reference Command & Conquer 4. House of Lancaster is an English variant, while the Knights Templar is another French variant. We do have this one here obtained, the Merchant. Passively generate 15 wood, food, and gold every minute. Oh, that's pretty nice. It is effectively one extra villager income. We do now have the Lancaster castle being employed on the field. I probably should slow down and read it. Unique to the House of Lancaster, defensive landmark that can do a one-time muster of units from manors in each age. Generates influence that grants nearby manors plus 500 health and arrow slip placement. This map is very close by each other. I don't think this map's going to be very well received, hitting the rush distance is very, very close. So I can see why he went for this castle here. I wonder how the defensive capability is it. Some basic wooden walls here would not hurt at all. Of course, with the new patch as well, professional scouts got nerfed again, so now even more expensive. Looks like we got Knights Templar going straight for the boar. Additionally, Villagers Plus gains 20% wood as additional food. Villagers gather wood without needing a lumber camp. Villagers gain, so they get wood with. They get food from wood, or they get wood from food. Generate 20% of wood as additional food. Let's see. Yeah, we do have a food trickle here, so sounds like Kingdom of France being queued on up with Knights Templar. It is a age up here, like a traditional age up. Military units produce 15% faster and cost 5% less gold. It does slow down your villager income. I'm still trying to figure out. I'm assuming this looks like a food trickle there, but I can't really tell if that's this. No, this seems like it's going to be a deposit every 15. We do have now the sheep is preventing green from getting hit from magenta's scout there. You now have the queue up of safe passage. I didn't have time to read that. Guarantees sanctuary of one pilgrim, additional green sanctuary grants pilgrims one additional pilgrim. I have no idea exactly what that means yet. But there's a pilgrim, provides currently carrying 130 gold, which I believe goes to the sacred site there. So it looks like it is like a trader, drops off gold on both sides. I'm still investigating all the mechanics. This is Knights Templar, which is a French variant, which does get a unique heavy knight, no royal knights. Not sure why it's considered a French variant, if it's doesn't seem like any French about it. It's classifies its own standalone, honestly. No Royal Knights. Don't see comparison research. Though these are French names, so maybe that's why it's considered French variant, even though there's nothing French about it so far. Doesn't get the cheaper economic upgrades either. Okay, we've got now more pilgrims now on the field. Lancaster, let's see, levies 2 demi-lancers, And for additional 1 per each manor, you got also 8 yeomen and 1 additional yeoman per manor, and 1 demi-lancer, earl's guard, and yeoman per manor. Horseman will drive away the scout. Pilgrims moving over here. Did that pilgrim just straight up get sacked? A lot of mechanics I still need to look at. Travels to from the Templar headquarters to select sacred site, generates gold upon arrival. Will convert to a ship if stops the coast. All 3 sacred sites over here. Local doggo will get some bites here. And I think it got a combat speed bonus there, a charge bonus when the wolf is biting it, so the wolf helps push it, actually. Okay, so it is not like a trader, but also is. Gets the location, provides gold, and then blows up. Traveler Confroners pushing right here. They are a heavy cavalry unit with Sofa armor. Sophie, Molly, and Sofa. 14 damage, 21 charge attack. Gains 1 max health for every nearby heavy cavalry, so it has a horde health bonus. I thought they couldn't build them unless they were in the next age. Unless this is a replay bug, because it's clearly building... Oh, it must be right there. We got some spearmen now pulling the field, just regular hardened spearmen. Got some manors here. Manors right now are providing a decent amount of income. Passively generates 45 wood and 70 food every minute, which is quite significant. That's basically 3 villager income. Can still build farms, so it doesn't get decrease of farm costs as like the English does. And we do, of course, have barracks here. No man-at-arms, has Earl Guards instead. I'm curious if I have access to Longbowmen. But I guess we'll have to wait later and see that. We don't have a hardened spearmen being flown in the field. These, whatever they're called, the Chevalier, Comfortier, do cost 90 food, 76 gold, a weirdly precise amount of gold. So they're effectively 166. But then again, there is a global upgrade that he has applied to reduce the gold cost by 5, so it's probably 80. So these guys are 170 or 160 resources. Cheaper than Keshik's. We do now have some archers in the field. They do actually have a pretty unique skin, which is good. Yeah. Honestly, it all seems like the Knights Templar should be not its own, like a sub-civilization. I don't see anything related to the French with the Knights Templar currently. Their villagers produce the same rate. Guess we may have to wait and see. But then again, they don't get the same landmarks as well. If we were to switch over the Knights Templar, now we see the upgrade. Pilgrims getting stabbed here. We've got some archers help protect. These archers are completely and utterly ordinary. Lucy does have access to siege engineers. Very nice. Good number of knights and chevaliers. More walls gone up. Blue Magenta's now trying to claim some gold. Good number of manors in the field. I mean, they provide an X amount of income. Manors do cost 300 resources, 200 wood, 100 stone. And each one effectively provides 3 villager income. We do now have these cavalry push way forward with archers in tow, one batting on the field. These manors have a good amount of health. They do have a defensive arrow. The Lancaster keep has one good arrow, not a full keep arrow. Destroys one of the manors, so these are pretty sizable losses. More manors being put on the field. And these, remember these wolves, these Chevaliers do have one less range armor. Oh, and there's a levy. Brings in a bunch of demi-lancers, which are heavy cavalry as well. A counterpart looks like to the Chevaliers. They have 8 damage, so very poor damage. 16 charged lance attack, so decent charge attack. Demi-lancers, so more emphasis on the lancer part. Their damage output is 8, which is not great. Attack speed is the same as the heavy cav. These Chevaliers are going to be significantly better. These Demi-Lancers are listed as costing 240 resources, so probably not buildable at the stable. Definitely not worth it. They also get more damage based on each active keep, which is not bad. The number of the Chevaliers, they're just severely much better quality than these Demi-Lancers, offering double the melee damage almost. I do see +1 range damage, +1 range armor active. Got these spearmen pursuing these archers. The villagers could help out. They are armed with a bow. They have the same bow as the English, which is basically an archer that attacks pretty slowly, which is, for villagers, not bad. Those lose a villager there. Right now, we do got still a good number of manors in the field. So he has a far superior economy than his opponent. Now he's going for some yeomen. Looks like their own version of the longbowmen, but nowhere near close. They have 6 range. Longbowmen have 7 range, as well as 6 damage. These guys are effectively +1 range archers that cost 10 total more resources. 30, 50, 45, 45. So they're just slightly buff archer. Nothing too significant. Nothing to really compare to the longbowmen. That wolf is pushing the pilgrims forward. Yeomen and spearmen now trying to engage. House of Lancaster does not have access to Age 2 mana arms, but spearmen in this situation will generally be a bit better. The yeomen do actually have pretty good move speed. They have 1.31, which is faster than spearmen, but slower than Musafati warriors. That's sort of interesting. So they do have a slight speed advantage. Oh, maybe that's related to combat sprints? Nope. Appears to be not. Oh, we got a vector target ability there. But the longbowmen there in pretty good numbers. As utilizes levy. Another manor being established. More pilgrims are making their way to the sacred site. Yeah, but a lot of this is also me. For this replay, this is my first time casting replay with the new factions. I'm still learning quite a bit. House of Lancaster has a pretty good stockpile of resources. He's only age 2 at the moment. Both of them are aging up at the same time. We got the Republic of Genoa. Republic of Genoa. Pilgrims generate +30 cent gold. Not bad. He is getting some decent gold income there. He's also been maintaining a good presence with the villagers on the map, claiming all the deer. And something realizes, whoa, there's not too many buried deposits on this map now, is there? Just something close by. The King's College. That's a manor. The King's College. It's a technology landmark. Reduces research costs of all technologies by 50%. Contains unique military technology of the House of Lancaster. I wonder if this also acts as a university. But of course, maybe some of that stuff is gated by age. Guess what, the wait and see. We got unique research here. A good number of unique research. Trained in rugged terrain, the whole bar charge damage increased by 150%. Production increased by 100%. And knights and demon lancers adorn their armor of Lancaster livery. Gets +6 bonus damage against enemy armored units. Warwolf trebuchets. Experience from building larger trebuchets. Increase the range +2 and health by 50%. Importing Burgundian imports. Imports Burgundian hand cannoneers. Enables hand cannoneers to be trained at the castle wage and reduces their hand cannoneer cost by 25%. So this is actually an Age 3 Streltsy. And military training tactics. Advanced military tactics improves the damage output by 20%. Just flat out. We got some veteran chevaliers now there. Veteran spearman now complete, which he desperately didn't need. We also got the veteran yeoman. I also got some unveteran rams now push way forward. More of the chevaliers push way forward. They do get +1+ armor if they're aged up. So they just have 1 less armor. They're a cheaper heavy cow. Good number of mana's been going down. The rush distance is actually very short, as I mentioned earlier. There's just hardly any production structures here. I don't know why. It just seems like there's not many production structures. Because this is so short, you could just stream in like that. Some of these villagers are getting hit. Now we've got 4 knights blood in the field. Regular old knights. He is going for another levy. She'll levy 8 yeomen and 1 additional yeoman per manor. Is there any limit on manors? Need to find myself a magenta villager. Let's probably have to back out and switch over to him. Another keep being established here. Oh no, that's a manor. These knights still causing issues. They may not have the same armor as a regular knight, but the chevaliers are still quite significant. Looks he has 9 manors that he can get up to. So far, the pilgrims have also remained unharassed. And Magenta's been taking a good number of manor losses. Right now, the destroyed value is equal, but I have no idea if that's accurate. Green's also picking up some more relics. No Ronin being obtained. I'm curious how effective the Ronin are. Oh, 7 supply charges. Oh! That is not too many Ronin you can actually get. Also got some crossbone being deployed on the field. Oh, it looks like I think they've... never mind. I think they may have adjusted the crossbow animation and sped up the animations, because originally in the campaign, the animation took the full 4 seconds. And I think they sped up the animation, so now it does like the wind-up animation, rather than just sitting it down at their feet and then what appears to be pulling back. There's the precision shot. Got actually a good amount of damage there. That ability may be a much better ability than even Magnel's. There's another round there. Look at that damage output. Knights push way forward. A couple spearmen to engage them, or the chevaliers. You have now some Genoese crossbow moving full in field, which seems like the Argotier variant, based on the profile picture. But yeah, I can see there. You can see like the whole wind-up animation. You actually didn't see that before. I'm glad they are actually bringing back some of the full animations. Unless I'm blind, I never saw that before. What? This guy threw a knife. Throws dagger periodically. Does 18 damage at 6.5 rate. What the heck is that? Make it at least a throwing axe, not a throwing dagger. More of the cheaper chevaliers being blown in field. Gets +2 damage per nearby charging heavy cavalry. So you get better charges before your charges. I wonder how the Ronin are. Even though she's equal to Samurai, that could be quite nice since it costs 100 gold each. Does take out the pilgrims, very nice, as well as the monk carrying the relic. Green has captured up a sacred site. Local doggo still demands the head pats. Genoese crossbow in pawn field. Looks like they have a larger shield for passive. Oh, these guys have really high base damage. They must be expensive. Yep, so we got expensive crossbowman variant. At 21 damage, they're probably very similar to Janissaries, barring the fact they have 6 tile range, good bonus versus melee infantry, all melee infantry, not versus any heavy cavalry, and no bonus, any bonus versus cavalry. So I guess the closest thing to Genoese crossmen are Janissaries, or vice versa. They are also pretty slow, looked at 1.6. They have inherently 1 range armor, but nothing too significant. I wonder if there's any research I need to take a look at. Don't see unique research down here. So Genoese crossbowman is a separate unit from the crossbowman, and the upgrades are significantly different. At least in price. Grains capture up all sacred sites, they're all pretty close by each other. And now try and cook up some wood. And yep, Green does get food from just chopping up wood, which is pretty powerful, honestly. Collects up wood faster rate and collects up food while cooking up wood. And the pilgrims are a free thing. Ooh. That was a pretty good barrage. Takes out half those archers. Green Magenta is also walled in this area. This map design I do not like though. That is way too close. Will not obtain the Ronin. I am curious about the Ronin. There's some veteran halberds, short sword, range siege. So it looks like a cheaper horseman. They cost 70 food, 20 gold. Health is a little bit less. I think horseman's regular health is 125, and that's with regular horseman, not veteran horseman. But they do have higher range armor, so these guys are just a cheaper horseman, fair enough. They do have a charge attack, which is equal to the melee attack, while it just has a little bit extra range to it. And of course, so this guy's a bit more of a designated counter archer unit, which is perfectly fine, I'd say. It does a job of horseman, just does it better, barring the lack of health. They do have still horseman speed. No, actually, they're veterans, so that's probably the same horseman armor, so they're just cheaper horsemen. Does hit those Genoese crossbowmen. And Genoese crossbowmen are good against all targets, particularly melee infantry. Their base damage is high, so they punch through even the higher pierce armor of these horsemen. The attack speed's a little bit slow, but that's perfectly fine. Overall, I would say that both these new civilizations are not variant types. There's hardly anything that's variant about them. In fact, they will have to need some sort of commonality that keeps them not being a variant type. The only thing that I can see right now is the English villagers having bows. That's not really saying much. Monk getting some damage there. So looks like these billments and some sort of upgrade on the spearmen reduce the armor, enemy armor by 2. That actually makes their spearmen actually usable against heavier infantry units, such as an Age 2 infantry, unless that's maybe just a castle age upgrade. I wasn't paying attention to this one. All 3 6 sites still captured by green. Green also has a good amount of gold, going for a fortress. Fortress, if I remember correctly, yeah, they are a landmark, completely destructible landmark. So in theory, this helps prevent the annihilation victory from somebody just trying to snipe the town center, the capital. Improves the range of nearby range units, not range damage, just range itself. Looks like that ability does not do a whole lot of damage versus villagers, so it may have a damage debuff against villagers. Or maybe there just wasn't a whole lot there. Fortress has been built now, improving these guys' range up to 5.75. The upgrade spring gun placement does have a trebuchet emplacement rather than cannon placement. No idea how effective that is. Unique research ironclads and reinforces walls, reduces incoming damage from gunpowder by 20% for stone walls and fortresses, so make them more resilient to the heavier siege, but should still take equal damage from trebuchets. Increased gold generation from monasteries, sacred sites, and pilgrims within the aura of a fortress, and looks like green does back the game. So my apologies for the relatively poor quality cast. This is my first time casting these civs. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.